The Horizon movie is about to start shooting, Halo coming to the PS5, and is Sony testing out handheld tech with the latest Demon's Souls patch? Let's get into it. Hello there everyone, it's Aaron here from Push Square with your weekly roundup of all things PlayStation. Of course, as is usual, I don't want to waste your time here, so we're going to get down to the 10 biggest news stories of the last week within the world of PlayStation, along with the latest reviews to drop on pushsquare.com, and then look to the week ahead with PS Plus updates and 5 of the biggest games dropping on PS5 this week. Let's start things out with the news. A fan has produced a professional looking manual for Sony's latest exclusive, Ghost of Yotei. Sandeep Rai, otherwise known as Too Old for Gaming on socials, has produced a 36-page manual to go on the inside of your physical edition of the game. This isn't the first time he's done this. He's produced books for Astro Bot, Stellar Blade and more. You can buy this one for $5 on his website, and I think it's pretty cool. It's harking back to the days when these were actually included with your physical edition of games. Sucker Punch Productions studio head Brian Fleming has claimed that the team can only do one thing at a time. This is in reference to many making calls for Infamous and Sly Cooper remakes or remasters. Speaking with VGC, Fleming stated that if we were good at juggling 4 projects, yeah, we'd have a remaster, but we only get to do one thing, so it kind of has to be your best idea, right? And that's really clarifying. I think we've seen too many studios stretch themselves thin, so although yes, it can be frustrating because we're only getting one game every 5 years, I do think this is maybe the right approach. The PlayStation 6 is scheduled to start production in early 2027. That's according to reliable leaker Moore's Law is Dead, who claims to have gotten their hands on documentation confirming exactly when the console will hit the production line. This lines up with several other reports of when this is going into production, with the rumoured release date of late 2027, and of course it also lines up with the 7-year cycle between the PS3, 4 and 5. Final Fantasy VII Part 3 director Naoki Yamaguchi says that he's confident the trilogy capper will be loved by everyone. In an interview with the Brazil Game Show 2025, he explained that they could have cut things down to make it just one singular game, but he didn't think that the fans would ever forgive them, and they wanted to properly tell that story with the available technology. While Remake and Rebirth are adored by fans, new and old alike, he believes that the conclusion to the trilogy will appeal to original fans and those that have been introduced to Final Fantasy VII through the Remake series. We still don't have a release date for Final Fantasy VII Part 3 at this point, or even a title, to be honest, but yeah, good to know there's some confidence there. Halo will make its PS5 debut with a massively modernised remake of the original Xbox game, Combat Evolved. That's according to Halo Leaks, which is accurately outed info from the franchise in the past. Rumours claim that modern gameplay mechanics such as sprint, sliding and even aim down sights will be a part of this new remake, which of course will be dividing fans of the original. It's not very Halo in some ways. Obviously, Xbox fans have received the Master Chief Collection some while ago, but this is said to be a remake more in the vein of Resident Evil 2, completely revamping the experience for modern hardware. Sony has hit back at Tencent's legal team over its Horizon knockoff Light of Motorum. Sony outed Tencent in the past, claiming that it pitched a mobile version of Horizon Zero Dawn, which was promptly rejected and later evolved into this supposed copycat game. Tencent then went on to say that Sony was trying to monopolize genre conventions and that Horizon wasn't actually original in any kind of way. Sony, though, has come out to say that Tencent's claims are nonsense. So it seems like both parties are kind of unwilling to budge, which means a big legal battle is ahead of us. Now, sticking with Sony and Tencent, Sony allegedly travelled to China in July of 2024 to discuss the prospect of a mobile adaptation of The Last of Us with Tencent's subsidiary Aurora Studios, the very same studio behind Light of Motorum. Now, this supposed meeting comes after Sony rejected its initial pitch for Horizon, it then made the trip to China to what it thought was a pitch for The Last of Us mobile adaptation, but Tencent allegedly just re-pitched the Horizon mobile game again. This is all coming out as part of this legal proceeding, but it does highlight that Sony is actively meeting with teams with the intent of mobile expansion. Now, our last thing between Sony and Tencent, all of this legal proceeding has revealed some details of the Horizon live-action adaptation. During one of the legal proceedings, it was stated that Sony had a working script, it was currently looking for a director, and it was aiming to start production in 2026 with a release window of 2027. This is the third collaboration between PlayStation Studios and Columbia Pictures after Gran Turismo in 2023 and Uncharted in 2022. In a rather shock announcement, Quantic Dream, the developer of PlayStation exclusives Detroit Become Human and Heavy Rain, has announced a competitive multiplayer title called Spellcasters Chronicles. This is a free-to-play 3v3 experience where players will summon creatures and wield magic. It kind of looks like a third-person League of Legends to me. This has a closed beta on PC later this year, but there's actually been no firm announcement on other platforms as of yet. Demon's Souls, the PS5 launch remake, has been patched to take advantage of Sony's new power saving feature. The power saving toggle was added to the PS5 in a recent firmware update, which has been advertised as a continued commitment to Sony's lower energy consumption initiative. Although some hypothesize that this is actually a stealth test for the company's rumoured handheld device. Either way, we tested out this low power mode, which drops the frame rate down to 30 FPS, worsens the image quality and resolution, but it does drop the energy consumption from around 230 watts to under 100. Not quite handheld levels yet, as this usually sits around 25 watts, but it is bridging the gap. So that's it for the world of news. Let's move on to the reviews, and we've actually only had 3 reviews dropping on pushsquare.com this week. For one, I finally put a score on my Battlefield 6 review, giving it an 8 out of 10, and this, honestly, it's just pure cinema. Ball X Pit got an 8 out of 10 as well from Stephen Tailby, who called it a fiendishly compelling mix of Vampire Survivors and Breakout. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 debuted with a 4 out of 10 from Robert Ramsey, who said it was a disastrously paced and technical mess of a game. You can check out the full review for Battlefield 6 and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 on the Push Square YouTube channel. Now let's look to the week ahead. For starters, your monthly offering of PS Plus games are being added to PS Plus Extra and PS Plus Premium. The games this month are the Silent Hill 2 remake, the Until Dawn remake, V Rising, Yakuza Like a Dragon, Poppy Playtime Chapter 1, As Dusk Falls, Wizard with a Gun, and for premium subscribers out there, Tekken 3. These will become available on Tuesday the 21st of October. But what about new game releases? Well, here are 5 of the biggest games dropping on PS5 this week. October 21st is a busy day this week with Jurassic World Evolution 3 on the PS5, Ninja Gaiden 4 on the PS5, and Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2, also on PS5. On October 22nd, we have Dispatch, and on October 23rd, Power Wash Simulator 2, which is just dropping on PS5 this time round. So that is your weekly roundup of all things PlayStation. What stories piqued your interest? What games do you think you'll be picking up this week, if any? Let me know down in the comments below, and as always, while you're there, leave a like, that really does help me out, and even better, subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with all things PlayStation. Anyway, that's it from me this week, so until next time, I've been Aaron, and this has been Push Square.